Okay, hello everybody. My name is Alexa Hight. I am the Scholarly Communication and Copyright Librarian at Marian Jeff Bell Library. And what that means is that I work with faculty and students on a wide range of things related to publishing, sometimes entailing finding research as well as publishing research. And today we are talking about citation management software. So I'm going to share my screen. And as Linda said, if you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. You are also welcome to unmute and interrupt me or raise a virtual hand. I do have a few slides, but we are really going to be doing a show and tell of Zotero. So we will actually be getting into the software. I didn't do this in, there we go. Okay. Didn't prep enough, I guess. So we're talking about Zotero. Zotero is just one tool. There are other tools that you may or may not have heard of or used before. EndNote, RefWorks, and there are some others. But we at the library, we like to talk to folks about using Zotero, and I will get into what the benefits of Zotero are specifically. But the basic tagline, as you see on our screen, is less time citing, more time writing. So you're not dealing with the nitpicky, making sure your citations are all correct over and over and over again. So what is Zotero? Zotero is a citation management software. It is a software that gives you control of your research. So you have the ability to mix and remix your citations into new combinations, the ability to keep track of all of your research through the multi-year process of getting a degree in one place. You can take notes and store your PDFs all in Zotero, and it's freedom of the drudgery of creating citations by hand or using other citation generators. And that, reduces the risk of saving incomplete citation information. And another benefit is that you're keeping track of your research through this degree at TAM-UCC, but if you go to another institution to do another degree or to work for a research library or teach at a university, the Zotero can go with you. So unlike something that is tied to TAM-UCC, you have to be a TAM-UCC affiliate to have access to it. Zotero is free and can travel with you. So Zotero saves your citations. You can search your citation library. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause. Can y'all hear my dogs in the background?
I could hear a little something. That's okay.
Okay, I'm
No
sorry.
problem. No, you're fine.
They,
You're fine.
it is dinner time, and my husband hasn't found the dogs yet. Sorry.
No problem.
Um, okay. So Zotero, you can save your citations. We're going to see how you can search your citation library. You can create bibliographies. And as we said, you can take notes and store your PDFs. You can also synchronize your library, your Zotero library, on multiple devices and using cloud storage. And there's other fun stuff. There is okay, I'll get to that when we get to that. So why Zotero? It is free. Like I said, you can take it anywhere, so to other institutions. And Zotero does have really great online tutorials and support resources. If I have a question about how do I do this in Zotero, there's usually a Q&A page, an FAQ, or sometimes the Zotero users will have like a forum, and you can read what other users have, what challenges they've run into, and what the Zotero users have responded. I will make the disclaimer, Zotero may not be ADA compliant. It is not required for classes at TAM-UCC. I think now that the university has made the official switch to supporting Zotero, we have looked into the VPAT for Zotero, so this might be an outdated disclaimer, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So now I'm going to exit the slides and we're going to actually jump into Zotero itself. Um, And so I'm just going to go to my web browser. And if I go to zotero.org, this is where you can get Zotero. Like I said, it's free. If you have not utilized Zotero before, you will need to create a login. And like we said, there are a couple of ways to use Zotero. There is a desktop app as well as the web cloud version. Um, we will talk about how to use Word to integrate with Zotero to create in-text citations and to generate a bibliography at the end of your paper. In order to use the Word integration, you do need the desktop app version. You can still create bibliographies using the web app version, but if you want to use that in-text citation, which I will demonstrate what that looks like, you will need the desktop version. So you will need a login and access to either the desktop app or the web app. And then you will also need a browser extension. And I had a class a couple weeks ago and somebody asked me about a browser that I had never heard of. And so I will say that there are limitations to how many browsers Zotero does support, but it does support, I use Chrome, it supports Safari, as well as Firefox and Edge. So there was another one, and I can't remember the name now, but those are the web browsers that at the moment Zotero does support. And you can use Zotero on both Mac and Windows and Linux and iOS. I do have Zotero set up on my personal Mac. I am using my work desktop laptop at the moment, but I do use it on my personal Mac as well. And I haven't run into too many issues. It's just Safari and settings is I just haven't gotten that far. So I'm going to log in to show you. You will notice upgrade storage. So Zotero is free up to a certain data point. So it's kind of like Gmail. If you've used Gmail as your personal email and you use like Google Drive and Google Photos and all of that, you eventually use up the free space that Google allows you. If you have an iPhone, same thing. You have to purchase the iPhone, but up to a certain point, you get free data, and then you have to start paying for data. Um, if you run into that while you're here at TAMUCC, you can contact IT, and they can work on getting you a that paid subscription so that you can have more data. But it is free, and I've been using this for about 5 years. I haven't run into maxing out my storage, but I also go in and sometimes clear out some articles to just free up space as well. But I'm also not writing a thesis or dissertation, so I'm not taking up too much space either. So I clicked on login because I already have a login. This is where you can create your personal login. I used my TAMUCC email when I set this up, but it's just my login email. And I have my Gmail as my recovery for if I need to log in and I no longer have access to TAMUCC email. So I am going to log into the web app version and I will open the desktop version in a few moments so that you can see the difference. It really isn't that different. There are a couple of tiny differences between using the web app version and the desktop version. But this is Zotero. So you can see this on the left-hand side under Zotero. It's a slightly darker gray that's highlighting that we're currently in my library. So this is everything that I have stored in Zotero. And on the right, you see I have 970 items. I can organize things by folder. The folder that we will be using for the most part today is some articles. This is just my demo folder for classes and for workshops like this. You can see that you can also create a hierarchy. So within ScholComm, scholarly communication, I have a bunch of different folders, and then within that folder, I have more folders. So you can create hierarchies of folders to organize your Zotero library. Another benefit of Zotero is that you can use group libraries. So this is where if I'm working on a group research project or paper or whatnot, I can share what I'm finding with the people I'm working on a project with. So I've used it for like past presentations or papers, chapters, things like that. And so the only thing that your colleagues need is Zotero, and then you can set up a shared group library. So that can work better than like emailing. I found this article. You can still do that. You can set up your Google Drive, but we're going to talk about all the great things about storing your articles within Zotero as well. So that's what I'm going to show you for now. We are going to come back and do a more in-depth exploration of Zotero, but I'm going to open up the desktop version. We're going to take a look at that, and then we'll take a quick look into how to get things into Zotero. So I was using Zotero um, earlier today, and so it opens up where I had left it. So I had opened up a couple of PDFs that I had downloaded, and you can see now that that is this is the PDF that I was looking at. If I close that tab, it will show me the other PDF I have. So it's kind of like a web browser where it's opening up my PDFs in tabs. But once I close those out, now you see my home screen. It looks pretty similar to what we were just looking at on the web. I think the desktop app is like a little more outdated feeling, I guess, in terms of like I don't know, like old software looking things, but it really has all the same um, capacity, capabilities. There are just a few different nuances between using the desktop app versus the web app, which I will get into. You might notice up here on the top right, I have this circle, this green circle. This is where it is working on syncing my library to the web library. So because I open the web library and then I open this, it is trying to sync. If you create your Zotero library on one device and then download and open the Zotero on another device, you will just need to log in, like I showed you on the web app version, and then set up syncing, like you do with anything else that you're syncing. It is pretty straightforward. So if I want to add some articles to Zotero, there are many different ways to do this. You can drag and drop if you have PDFs saved on your device. You can just pull that PDF over. Let's see if I can do that really quickly here. Just pull this. Okay, so I'm going to just pull this PDF from here, drop it into my Zotero library, and let's see what happens. We're calling this. Did that work? Maybe not. Let me try it one more time. Okay, it did it that time. So you might notice when I did it that way, so I had this PDF saved on my computer and it just pulled in just the PDF. So what I don't have versus another, you see this little PDF icon here versus up here. I know this is small. Um, if I click on this, this has on the right all of my metadata information, all of my citation information. And if I click the arrow on the left here, that's where I see the PDF. But by pulling it from a PDF on my laptop over, it didn't pull over the record information. I can create that record information. You can go up to this folder here or up to the green button, and under that green plus, I can add journal article and put in, I'll just open it for you. Put in, so it automatically says journal article because that's what I said. And then I could work on copying and pasting or entering the data for the title and all of the other information that I need. My go-to for telling people about this is I would just Google. So we can do that right now, actually. If I open it, So I'll open it in here. And this came from the web. I'm going to copy that. My clipboard is empty. Okay, thank you for telling me that. I appreciate you. Copy, paste. Okay, so if I Google it, that might be. Okay, so the full report is here. So this is where you would need your browser extension. So I already have mine set up in my Chrome. It's fairly straightforward if you've done browser extensions before. Um, the website, zotero.org, explains very succinctly how to get your browser extension up and running. But because I already have it and I have it set up, this little piece of paper icon in the top right says save to Zotero, embedded metadata has access to this site. So save to Zotero, if I click on that, then it will show me saving to some articles. And it's telling me it's just saving the snapshot. So now I have the PDF as well as the metadata information, and it will save to the folder you currently have open. You can click on it and change it. My habit that I've gotten used to is when I just open if I'm on the web and I find something that I want to save and I don't have Zotero open already, I will open Zotero, open the folder I want, and then click on the icon to download it into my Zotero. So I had the PDF and I just imported the metadata information. Unfortunately, it didn't input a lot of the information, probably because this is a report out on the web versus a journal article in a database. However, what Zotero did do for me, which is very nice and handy, is that it affiliated these two together. So now this is a part, no, it's not a part of that, but I can make it a part of that. Okay, sorry. It just put them together because it's alphabetically sorted and that's why. But I can easily put that together and now this PDF is associated with this record. And so now I do have my PDF saved. So like we saw, I have it over here and I can do all the same things you can do in any PDF reader. You can highlight, it's a little different. You have to click on the highlight icon first and then highlight it. You can create notes, same thing, click on notes and then click to create your note. Um, and you can see here I have the info. I also have tags and related. I'm kind of jumping around in terms of the order in which I wanted to show you everything. However, it's okay. So notes, I didn't actually save that note. I can save that note here. Tags, so if we go to, let's see, this guy here. So if you import something like a journal article that comes from a database and there are keywords affiliated with it, these will automatically download with your article. You can also add your own tags and you can then search your Zotero database for your tags, all fields and tags, if you wanted to look at everything related to climate change in your tags. You can also affiliate articles with each other. So if you're working on a lit review and you have various aspects of your research project, and you have these two articles that are related to this aspect of the lit review, these articles related to that, you can add that tag. So if you go to add and then your full library comes up, but you can search it. So I see something about dieting on my screen, so I just searched for it, added that tag, and now I have those affiliated with each other. So that can help you kind of keep track of what's going on. You can also have articles in multiple folders. You can also disassociate an article without fully deleting it. So if you wanted an article to be moved from this collection, you can either move item to trash, fully deleting it from your Zotero library, or you can remove item from collection, and then it would just show up in your full library and not your article. So there are a lot of different ways to organize your information within Zotero, um, keep your PDF with your metadata information, as well as take your notes, highlight your sections, etc. Um, so I talked a little bit about how to get your works into your Zotero library. If we go from the libraries database, um, well, just doing a fake search, so we're not going to be too worried about my search terms, and how many gajillion results we'll get. Um, but if I'm searching in quick search, or if you're searching from a database, so if you're looking at Web of Science or a ProQuest or an EBSCO database, you can do what we did with the ending profiteering report. Um, you can also do it from these records. The difference here, okay, so this is a book that's physically available in the library, so this one doesn't matter to what I'm saying here, because there are these more actions, those three little dots, and so you can use this to export to your library. We have, whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. Sorry, guys. Sorry, y'all. If we have a journal article where it says we have full text online and you want that PDF to be in your Zotero library, you don't want just the metadata, you want everything, the PDF and the metadata, the citation information. You will need to go to where it is online to get that PDF. This exporting it to Zotero here will give you all of the citation information, but not the PDF itself. So whereas dragging and dropping, we have the PDF, but not necessarily the metadata information. Doing it this way, you get the metadata, but not the article itself. So sometimes that's a little bit of clicking, as you know, when you're trying to get to full text information. But here I do have the download button. And usually, I say usually because sometimes different databases act differently and do their own special flavor of downloading. Usually, if you're on the record page where you have the button to download, if you go to your Zotero extension and you click on that, it should download, and it is the full text PDF. Sometimes you need to go to where the PDF is, so like open it in your web browser and then download it, but this is just downloading here. So databases work differently. If we could all work the same, it would be great. Just like if we could all agree on the same citation style, that would be great, which leads me into another segue of actually how does Zotero save you time with citing? So now that we have all of our stuff in Zotero, I'm going to go back to some articles folder. How do we put this into a bibliography or use Zotero to do our in-text citations? So I'm going to open up a Word document. And like I said, you can still create a bibliography without Word, without the desktop integration. But if you want to do the in-text citation, which we will very, very shortly demonstrate, you will need the desktop app in order for it to trigger the Zotero integration. So here, because I already have everything set up, I have my Word opened and it does have this Zotero tab, which has add or edit citation as well as add or edit bibliography. So if you are working in Word and you're talking about sharks and you want to do an in-text citation, you just click on Add Edit Citation. And then the first thing, because we're opening a new document, is that it's going to ask me, what citation style do I want? The great thing about Zotero is how many citation styles they have. So if I go back to our library webpage, and we do have a citation generator on quick search, but we only have a handful. This is it. This is what we've got. We do have the big ones. We have APA, MLA, and Chicago. But if you are writing an article and you want to submit it to a journal and they have their own citation format, American Chemical Society, American Meteorological Society, there are a ton out there. And just to give you an idea, Zotero is adding them all of the time. So it brought up this box, but it jumped to my other screen when I clicked on more styles. So these are all the styles that I've used before, most of them for demonstration purposes only. But if I don't see what I'm looking for, I can go to get additional cites, and all of my pop-up boxes are going to a different screen. But here is that cite. And you can see that they have 10,468 styles. So they really are trying to keep track of as many different citation styles as they can. You can search, so if you know the citation style you're looking for, or if you want to kind of browse by your field, you can look at what are the citation styles that are related to chemistry. We have 229. So Zotero is very beneficial, especially if you are, um, you have a journal article and you have to submit it to one journal and then they kick it back and you have to submit it to another journal. This can really save you a lot of time in terms of formatting your citations for that. Um, for this, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go with APA 7th edition. So I highlight what I want, and because we opened up so many boxes, um, okay. And then where is there it is. So with Word, it will bring up the little dialog box with the Z. And you can look up your article that you're trying to cite by title, by author name, and it should search your Zotero library to prompt you, what are we trying to cite here? So I'm going to cite that, and then cite my second one, Powers et al. And then at the end, you can create your bibliography based on what you used in your in-text citation. So that can really help you when you're writing on the go. You can, like I mentioned, if you don't have the Zotero desktop app or you don't have Word, I don't believe Zotero yet works with Google Docs. I believe it works with Pages, but I could be wrong. So Word, I mean, you get Word through your TAMUCC affiliation. So you should be able to use both Zotero and the Word integration if you have a device that you can download the desktop app onto. To create a bibliography straight from Zotero, it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to use what I have here. I'm going to have some incomplete citations because of the things I've started to demonstrate that you can start things from scratch. But I will highlight some of these articles. And I did this in the desktop app by clicking on the first title, hitting Shift, and then clicking on the last title. And then in the desktop app, if I right click, I can create bibliography. This menu pops up and I go to create bibliography from items. And then it does the same dialog box as our in-text citation. If I go to Chicago 17th full note, I'm outputting to a bibliography, sorry, and I'm copying to clipboard. So I hit OK. And I am going to paste. And now I have my entire bibliography from that folder in Chicago style. So it really is just a few clicks and you have a full bibliography, which is amazing, saves you so much time. If you do it from the web app, so if I go to, sorry, my Zoom menu was in the way. If I go to my web app, I have the same folder. I'm going to do the same thing where I highlight all of the articles I want. The only difference, or one difference, is that instead of right-clicking on my mouse to get the dialog box, I go up to the menu at the top where it looks like some books on a shelf and it says Create Bibliography. And if I click on that, this is the second difference where it shows me a preview of what my citations look like because I have it in APA 7th edition. I can change it to MLA and it will show me what MLA looks like. And then I can go to the bottom, copy to clipboard, and paste in my document. Um, that is my very brief demonstration. I feel like there was something else I wanted to tell you all or show you all. If you have questions, please do ask me questions. I will tell you that if you are using library resources and you go to a database external to just using the quick search, I'm going to go to Web of Science. And it's going to work on it because I'm off campus, so it'll take me a little bit. There is because of the way our databases are set up and authentication happens with affiliation, oftentimes, and of course, because I'm talking about it, it might not happen, but oftentimes when I go to a database, um, there will be a message at the top of the screen asking me if I want to use the proxy for Zotero. And you can just say accept proxy and it usually works. Sorry, talking about one word and trying to go to a different word. It's not doing it for me today, maybe because I already did it earlier today. We could go to Science Direct. Great white sharks. I really fancy. Okay, it's not doing it either. So because I mentioned it, it's not going to do it. But if you do have proxy issues, let me know. But it should just be accept the proxy and then you're good to go. Yeah. Um, any questions?
This is great. Does anybody have anything? You're welcome to just scream it out or put it in the chat. Well, if not, I know
Oh, we
Alexa's
got, oh,
awesome about, oh, here we go.
it was just a thank you. I thought it was a
Oh,
question. Thank you
uh,
for my thank you.
Alexa, I'll be happy to share her the slide presentation if you don't mind, and then I can send that to you, Leticia and Wendy and Alex tomorrow. And then it also I can include her contact information. So if you want to, something comes up, you have a question, you know she's very responsive, and I appreciate all the work she does with everybody and our graduate students. Be happy to
Yeah.
assist you in that too. So.
Wendy has a question. Can Zotero be used to put citations in numerical order? Do you mean like footnotes or like endnotes, kind of? Is that the question? I think if that's the way it's supposed to go, it should do it based on the citation style. Um, there's also, I don't know if I'm answering your question because I'm not sure if I'm clear on the question, but I think there is also um, if you do create bibliography, if I do is it notes? And I can't remember which style in terms of in-text citations using numbers. Oh, so like uh so if your in-text citation style has a one instead of a name, Is that what we're talking about? And then at the end of the document, it puts it in, say, I think, okay. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Sorry.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, I'm outside and there's so many birds. I didn't want to.
That's okay. You listen to my dog, so it's fine.
But yes, exactly. That's what I mean.
Okay. Do you have off the top of your head which citation style or a citation style that does it that way?
Yes. So for example, like ACS, American Chemical Society.
Okay. Okay, yes. So for ACS, because I switched it, the output mode, you can do citations versus bibliography, and I think that would give us the citation order. Because I haven't really cited anything, I don't know if it will do it for us. It says 1 through 29. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm scrolling back and forth, and I know that that's very annoying. If I do a new Word doc, sorry, that's not new Word doc. Start off from scratch. Cite sharks. And if we do ACS, okay. Um, and sharks. Okay, so we have 1 and 2 now. Edit. Okay, it doesn't help that my 1 citation is an F and my 2 citation is a Powers. Um, let's find, I don't know. Okay, just citing random things. Okay, again, I'm just doing it alphabetically. Um, I know how to fix this. Okay, sorry, y'all. Okay, here we go. McKinney. Okay, so now we know. It's not just alphabetical. So it will do your in-text citations, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then at the bottom, it will create your bibliography or your citations in the order in which you cited them rather than an end bibliography of the alphabetical resources. Yay. Awesome. So glad we could work that out. Any other questions?
No, all I can say is thank you very much.
Leticia.
This is going to come very handy as I'm writing.
It really is. And I will say, if you already have a bunch of folders or like articles saved somewhere, it can be annoying. It's always that like starting something new can be annoying. But once you get in the habit of using Zotero, I used to like bookmark articles that I wanted to read and then never get around to them. And just having them in Zotero and organizing them somehow. I know you can organize bookmarks too, but I don't know, it just once you get in the habit of something, it makes it a lot easier. I know if you already have a project started or you already have the way you like to organize things. When I was in college, I never used a citation management software because I was just like, I'm so good at what I do. Oh, one thing I didn't notice, I'm so good at what I do. I'm really not. I just thought it was easier to do it by hand. If you download something and you need to fix something, so the citation generator should, if you have a style that doesn't do full first names, they should automatically just shorten this to, I don't know if they would do XJ Gia or just X Gia, but it should format it the way you need it to be formatted. But if there's something that is wrong, like if you figure out somebody's name is spelled incorrectly, or so it's showing you that this should be italicized because it is the Latin name of something. But if you need to fix spelling, you can edit. You can go in and edit the record. So just because you download it doesn't mean that you can't fix it. I always tell students, no matter what kind of citation generator you're using, always once you've copied and pasted into your Word doc or whatever you're using, to make sure things that are italicized should be italicized and things that aren't are not, etc. However, rather than having to fix it on your Word doc every single time, you can fix it in your Zotero record, save it, and then you don't have to change it. Yeah, so that was one thing I forgot to mention.
Anything else? This is really appreciated, Alexa. Thank you all very much for joining us. And like I said, I will send everything tomorrow, and including Alexa's contact information. And if you need anything else, let us know. Have a good evening.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want the slides? I can send them to you.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Not a problem. Thank you. Have a good evening.